little later. Some auctioning and probably some bingo numbers will be called later. No cards, just the numbers. If you want to hear me, you'll probably have to get a little closer, I guess. But we're just a few minutes away from having some important people talk, and you'll be tired of listening to me. Welcome one and all, past, present, and future residents of the village and community. When I talk about the village, I'm going to be talking about the community, so anybody within the 22.5-mile radius, consider yourself a former member. I was told to announce that the credit union will close at dinner time. That was about an hour ago. So if you need any money, I'm sure somebody will lend you some. Whether or not they'll get it back, I don't know. Other things that we might want to mention is the senior center is going to be open for cards, visiting, and of course, races later on. That was supposed to be funny. And Hazel's Tavern is open this afternoon as well. And in view of the 90th anniversary, all prices will end today in 90, right? 90-cent beer. And the balance is going to be picked up by somebody else. There's door prizes, as I mentioned, as you came in, signed a guest book, also enter your name for the door prize. I guess we'll probably start in a few minutes. If there's anybody here who wants to say anything else other than me, just get a hold of me. I'll be sitting over there for a few more minutes, and we'll probably start very shortly then.
You did that much?
So once again, welcome to each and every one of you on this, the 90th anniversary of the village and also of the community. The slogan for the 90th anniversary would probably be a place to be from. Everybody has to be from someplace. You can be from here. If you don't want to be from here, you can be from here. First of all, our speakers is going to be a representative of the village. The mayor, Sam Kramer, was unavailable. Apparently he was needed someplace else. He's probably lobbying down in the United States right now to have the mad cow incident straightened out. 2003 was a tumultuous year for us between the BSC, West Nile, and the slow move. It seems that we need something to remember the year by other than the disasters of the year. We had an announcement last week of Vancouver getting the 2010 Winter Olympics. So I think the anniversary of the town is probably the second on that list of important things that will happen this year. So if we're in for 3, you can hope for something better than that. But okay, our councillor is coming up to the front here with his 12-page essay, which he'll get into again. Later on this afternoon, there will be beer gardens right here at the rink, a puppet show at the library for the kids. There's a list of activities on the wall up there, face painting and, of course, door prizes. An open house is running at the senior center, as well as some history displays and whatever have you. And once again, if you have something important to say, just get a hold of me and we'll get you in someplace. So right now I'd like to call on Alan Diekert, one of the councillors from the village. He's going to be doing a presentation as well as a 20-minute speech.
According to whose clock? Thank you, Laurie. I would like to, on behalf of the village of MacNutt, welcome you all here today. Conveniently, the mayor is out of town, so he didn't have to do this. MacNutt was incorporated as a village in 1913, and we've lasted 90 years. I'm sure we'll make 100. After that, I guess we're not sure what's going to happen. I hope you all have a good time this afternoon. There's a number of activities planned, and we'll probably visit many old acquaintances and enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Thank you. Now, one thing as a council we decided to do, we thought we'd honor our oldest living resident in MacNutt. She is 93 years young. I believe she's lived around here all her life. She's still very active, living on her own in her own house, looking after her garden and her yard. A lot better than mine and a lot of other people's. But she does a great job, and we would like to present Mary with this plaque. I don't know who needs a chair more, her or me, but they'll take it easy here. congratulations, Mary, and we hope you're around here for another 93 years then. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan, and of course, thank you to Mrs. Rathbeaver for her endurance, to say the least. Next, we're going to call on Neil Mayer, the Reeve of the RM of Churchbridge. The RM of Churchbridge has generously supplied some of the fixins for the barbecue today, which was put together by the first responders and the fire department for your entertainment. Please welcome Neil Mayer. Al, you want to come back? You forgot something.
It's an honor and a privilege for me to bring greetings from the RM of Churchbridge to the village of MacNutt at this point in your history as you celebrate your 90th anniversary. Today, many will be reflecting on the heritage that we've gained from being a part of this community. For those of my era, some of the memories perhaps will be buying Cracker Jack popcorn at Sean's store, or perhaps groceries at Morrison's, or seeing the array of hardware at the hardware store, or maybe even getting ice cream from the creamery. Many of us would remember the elevators that were here. If not making deliveries, we can recall a distinct impression they made on the landscape. And thankfully, there's one still here. In school, we said the Lord's Prayer and sang O Canada in the mornings, and God Save the Queen at night. We were taught to respect and obey our elders and to love our neighbors as ourselves. Whatever your memories are today, if we could continue to uphold these values, it will serve this community well into the decades to come. Now, on behalf of the RM of Churchbridge, I would like to present to the village of MacNutt this plaque, and it's in recognition of your 90th anniversary, and to extend our most heartfelt congratulations to the village.
More hardware, something more to dust, I guess. The 100th anniversary, they'll probably give them a check for $100,000. No, you didn't hear that. Okay, our next speaker is, shouldn't say the oldest living still serving. She's been here a while. Let's put it this way, she was here before power. So you don't want to date her anyway. But she's going to give us some history, and some of the events start coming up, Edna. So I can run out of things to say about you until you get up here. I'm sure she's going to entertain you with some of the things that she's got to talk about, and she's going to try to do it with both her hands, and of course, try not to read it at the same time. So please welcome Edna Melnick.
Well, good afternoon. Can everybody hear me fine? I'm so glad you could all be here for this 90th anniversary of MacNutt. I thought it quite appropriate to wear an old hat for this old occasion. When we get older, some of us tend to forget. Joe, a young man, was out for a walk. He came upon an old gentleman sitting on the steps of a corner store. He was very sad looking. Joe said, "What is the matter, Tony? You look so sad. you recently married a very pretty young lady. Your love life must be great. Tony replied, yes, it's great, but I don't know where I live. A father gave his son a quarter and a loonie to put in the church collection plate. When they got home, the father noticed his son still had the loonie. He asked his son why he didn't put it in the collection plate. So the son said, you know, Dad, in Sunday school we learned to be a cheerful giver, and I felt much more cheerful to give the quarter. Okay, now, Morris and his wife Esther went to the fair every year, and every year Morris would say, Esther, I'd like to ride in that airplane. Esther always replied, I know, Morris, but the airplane ride costs $50, and $50 is $50. One year Morris and Esther went to the fair, and Morris said, Esther, I'm 85 years old. If I don't ride that airplane, I might never get another chance. The pilot overheard them and said, folks, I'll make you a deal. I'll take you both up for a ride. If you can stay quiet for the entire time, I won't charge you a cent. But if you say one word, it's $50. Morris and Esther agreed, and up they went. The pilot did all kinds of twists and turns, rolls and dives, but not a word was heard. He did all his tricks over again, but still not a word. When they landed, the pilot turned to Morris and said, by golly, I did everything I could think of to get you to yell out, but you didn't. Morris replied, well, I was going to say something when Esther fell out. But $50 is $50. Now, before I go on any further, I'd like to have all the people who planned this event to stand. My goodness. Well, that will respond. Okay. Well, then the rest of us will give them a big hand. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I want to thank the Anniversary Committee for asking me to deliver this thank you. Now these are, an honorable mention though will go to Tammy and Tony and Vi Shepherd, because they were on the phone an awful lot and did a tremendous amount of work. We'll give them another hand. Now these are the various clubs and organizations, etc. in MacNutt. Seniors Drop-In Center, 4-H Multiple Club, the 4-H Horse Club, the Lions Club, First Responders, Firefighters, Junior Mixed Hockey, Kings Hockey, and Curling Bonspiels, Figure Skating, Power Skating, Quilting Bee in the Winter, Service Club, Recreation Board, Library and Story Hour. There's a choice of churches in and around. The businesses, Andrus Farm Service, Coffee Shop, Credit Union, Post Office Liquor Vendor and General Store run by Russell and Aaron Holt, Hazel's Tavern, Cartwright Meats, Strata Agencies, Rathgable Repair, Wendell's Honey Farm, Virginia's Hairstyles, Innovation Enterprises by Ryan Week, Co-op and Shell Fuel Oil. There's one church in MacNutt and several in the surrounding areas. We also have the MacNutt Centennial Center, which includes a skating rink, curling rink, and a hall that is used for many different occasions. A big thank you to all people who helped in any way to make this project possible. MacNutt has a mayor, Sam Kramer, and 2 councillors, Gary Mayer and Alan Dietrich, and a very capable secretary, Cheryl Pepler. We thank you for your time and effort in keeping everything running smoothly in the village. It is greatly appreciated. Many thanks to the following. RM Churchbridge for your money contribution towards the brunch. First responders and fire departments for serving the brunch. Gladys Ketchikan Group for preparing and serving supper. Midnight lunch is being prepared and served by the service club. Lions have the beer garden. Hockey and curling clubs have the dance bar. Rec board are taking care of the dance tickets. We also want to thank the Christ Lutheran and St. Nicholas Orthodox for the dessert, the cake decorated by Karen Onofrichuk. And thanks to the Seniors Club for their hospitality today. I imagine people will be going there later on. Thanks to the library for their afternoon entertainment and to all donors of door prizes. Here are some of the earlier businesses in MacNutt. Sean's, Morrison's, Hammerstocks, Katchuk's, Hagel, and Art Metz all had grocery stores. There was Pepper's Garage and Filling Station, Wagner's Garage and Filling Station, Markuski's Garage and Filling Station. George Rathgaber had a livery stable and telephone office. That's a long, long time ago. John Cornelius Hardware and Implement Business. Locker Plant by Fred Olinger and Danny Four. And Tony's Cafe, Lizzie Andrews Cafe, and Sam Yee Cafe. Grihill's Blacksmith Shop. The creamery was managed by Mr. Walter Rubinuk. Cam Curl was station agent for many years. Our longtime postmaster was Val Zorn. The hardware stores, there was Carl Wagner, Philip Andrews, Norman Andrews, Mike Wintonic. And the hotel will let change hands several times. It was Sam Zimmer, Ken Drager, Ted Woloshin, Bill DeVernichuk, May's family, I didn't know his first name, Sam and Alice Lunkel, Guy Gavon, and of course the president, Hazel and Mickey Minchuk. We had 3 elevators. Some of the agents were Eitel Schendel, Rudy Zorn, Nick Peets, Melvin Finecombe, Bill Job, Harry Perrick, Sam Comfort, Arnold Shawn, and Francis Bowie. Now all of these people that I've mentioned gave something to MacNutt and District, which was very commendable. And we can be quite amazed that little MacNutt has still survived, and we should be very thankful and happy for that. I think that's, all right, I think that's about the end of my thank yous, and enjoy the rest of the day, and thank you all for being here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Edna, for converting 90 years into 9 minutes. But I'm sure as she was mentioning some of the names there, we all have a memory of our own, none of which come to mind right now. None of which are mentionable. Okay, I guess we're getting into the 1:30, which is beer garden time. And of course, as I mentioned, there's events going on at the senior centers with an open house, raffle, history, coffee, tea, dainties later on this afternoon as well. And of course, followed tonight at 5:30 by the chicken supper right here in the community center. There's, as I mentioned again, door prize draws later on. And of course, the dance to follow after that. So, anybody else have anything to say right now? Don't forget the puppet show, I'm sorry. At the library, that's probably going to start about 2 o'clock with face painting, door prizes. They're painting the faces of the puppets. No, I didn't see that. So I imagine that you can keep the rest of the afternoon open for whatever you want. Visit as you please. And we'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Here's a little Waylon Jennings tune for you folks. A little tune called Lonesome Ornery of Me.